Alright, looks like we're going to start today's episode off with just spying on the interactions between some of our students.
As you
so
can see, if we
let's
were to
sit
face
back
an enemy
and
on this
see how it
terrain,
goes.
I would go here, and you would go here.
Hang on. If we're trying to repel the enemy, I should be positioned there, correct?
There's literally
I'm
nothing
not sure
there.
that's the best idea. Take a closer look at this map.
Where's the map?
See, there's a graveyard over here. Might run into some of those ghosts you hate so much.
Claude, will you knock it off already? So help me. If you continue treating me like a child, I'll...
Easy there. I'm sorry, okay?
There was no
Just
table?
don't start
There was no
blasting off
map?
any spells in here.
Where are you seeing the graveyard, Claude?
Turn an unarmed soldier to cinders. It wouldn't kill you to speak to me as an equal when we're discussing matters as serious as this.
Actually, I see you as more than an equal. There's no questioning the power you wield.
You're
And I was being
literally a
serious about the
nuke.
formation
A
just
magic nuke.
the bit about the ghosts.
You have
is just me
big
having
explosive
fun.
power inside of you.
Or trying to? You're so smart, I figured you'd catch on to that right away. But back to the formation. Can you see why I arranged it like I did? The area I want you to guard requires the ability to adapt to an ever-changing situation. Who else could I trust with such a difficult task? You're my best bet for something like that.
Perhaps
Because an
that's
unstoppable
true.
force can beat anything into submission.
Think back to the times we fought together. When have I ever treated you like a child on the battlefield? I depend on you, Lysithia. I value your power almost as much as I do Teach's.
Oof,
Truly?
Claude.
I
Right
swear
in the
to you on
heart.
all of Fodlan. I'd like to have my
I
fun,
mean, I
but
get it,
wouldn't
you're
joke
building
about
her up,
something like that.
but
I consider
I
you
thought
a
what we had was
valued ally.
special.
I'll stop now before I inevitably drift back into teasing you again. Just know that I meant every word, okay?
It's not all
Fair
about
enough.
trolls and
From
laughs.
here forward, see to it that you treat me with the respect of an equal. And I admit that you are not short on talent yourself, but don't go getting a big head over it.
There we go. Alright, so there's one down. Who else do we have that, who's Hilda? Oh! You've got a lot. Let's see how Hilda gets along with Raphael.
Right. Then this goes here.
Hello, Raphael. What exactly are you doing with that piece of wood?
Hey, Hilda. I'm just doing this.
Yeah?
With your bare hands. Impressive that just the outer ring is left. It makes quite a nice circle.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold
I'll
on.
polish it up and paint it. Then the base of the necklace will be ready.
Using your bare hands to... Okay, I don't know the context of what he did. He either popped out the inside rings of the wood, which is like, holy cow, what? Or he cut it in half, but that's not... I wonder if it's dry enough with some woods. Could you just pop them apart from ring by ring? I never thought about that. That's interesting.
Sorry,
Okay.
did you say necklace?
This big burly man hands just crushing nature beneath him.
How's it look? I bet it's the right size, too. And this tree bark smells amazing.
I actually get that.
Now I just need to carve these boar tusks to hang from it.
Some wood, I don't know, that just has a really nice pleasant odor.
I almost forgot. I was gonna add these wolf claws, too. And I could even add some color to them.
And wolf claws?
Huh? Is something wrong, Hilda?
Yeah, I'm a little lost
That
now too.
necklace. It has a certain, rustic charm?
You're right. It really does. Want me to make you one while I'm at it?
Oh no, I wouldn't want to trouble you. Besides, I think it would look better on you than on me.
It would definitely look good on me. But this one's actually a birthday present for my little sis.
For your sister? I mean, don't you think she might like something more feminine? Something cute?
Something cute? What's wrong with something tough and rugged? This necklace is gonna have tusks and claws and stuff.
But girls don't usually go for tusks
Oh, he's
and
just making
claws
like a
and
big
stuff.
war
There should
chain.
be flowers or gems or Here, I can talk you through it. If you're making a necklace for your sister, you might try putting a pretty little flower in a small crystal bottle and sealing it with resin.
Okay, first of all, that's actually a really nice idea for some arts and crafts, but I was almost thinking, because he's got this nice ring of wood, just do that inside the ring of wood. I don't know, I'm sold on the ring of wood idea. Just the idea that he just did that with his bare hands. I don't know, something about that.
If you say so.
It's crazy.
But where would I find a flower that was pretty enough?
Oh, honestly, I don't know much about flowers, but, now that I think about it, I remember hearing about a splendid flower that only blooms near Fodlan's
I don't know much about flowers, but what about that one flower that, you know, I just kind of heard about?
Fodlan's Throat. That's on the eastern edge of the Alliance. I'd have to leave now if I'm going to make it back in time.
And you will.
Yeah, that does seem like a bit of a stretch. Okay, let me think.
Oh, don't.
Where'd he go?
Oh, I was going to say, don't tell me she's already got something like in her back pocket or something like that. Yeah, you never would make it in time, but what if you just maybe happen to buy this? Alright, Leone and Ignatz.
Oh,
I
Professor,
am terrible
here's the
with his
map you-
name.
Well, there's always next time, I suppose.
Hey, Ignatz, didn't you have something to talk to the professor about?
Oh no, nothing urgent. You didn't cut short your conversation because of me, did you?
Come on, do I seem like the type to do that? No, I just had a couple of questions about the bows. We're done now, so I thought I'd come and tell you.
The bows? Is something wrong with them?
Lots of them have come in for repairs lately, so I switched out some of the strings for stronger ones. They've been breaking less, but now they're harder to draw.
Ah, I see. I suppose people would prefer if you went back to the lighter bowstrings.
Maybe. If the only issue was the draw weight, I'd just tell people to get stronger arms. But the real problem is that you can't shoot as fast. The arrows also fly too far now.
I can see how slower shooting is a drawback, but the arrows flying farther, that actually sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, I was like,
Sure,
hold
on
on.
open plains, but up close you lose accuracy. That's
Do
why
you
I thought it
really?
might be good to use different bowstrings for different scenarios. I wanted the professor's opinion about that.
Oh, good point. You know a lot about bows,
I
don't
guess if you had, like, maybe bows that were pre-strung, ones for indoor and outdoor, and you just, like, color-coded them. I don't know, I think that'd
Yes,
be
I
a
do.
good
I
middle
grew up in a
ground.
hunting village, so I've been around them my whole life.
I wouldn't have thought about that. I would have figured when fighting, you know, war is war, power in your bow would have been
I wouldn't
good.
say I'm necessarily
Universally,
better than anyone,
even
but
indoors.
at least I know what I'm doing. And you? Do you have something you're really good at?
Me? Oh no, I don't think so.
Well, I'm sure you'll find your thing someday.
I hope so.
Alright, now to... let's see, we're at the end of the month. Don't really need to explore. I've done a lot of battling. Let's just round off some of our skills while we're here. Don't do enough with the magic, so I think we'll sit through a session on that. I mean, there's really not a lot going on here, but hopefully we can get our numbers a little bit bigger and
My efforts
have
borne
a
fruit.
much better
think I've
run
got the
on
hang
the
of it.
next mission, because I think
Huh, I'm getting
this
it.
next one's the one that has me worried, because it's when they actually start throwing some bit crazier issues my way. Alright, Dedu's birthday. God, who was that one? Well, we'll just send out some flowers and call it good. Oh, that's right, okay, he is the Blue Lion's right-hand man. Do we need to update anybody's tools? I don't think so. I think everybody, for the most part, maybe not perfectly up to speed, but nothing so broken that I have to go out of my way to repair it. One thing I do have to do is make sure that we are fully stocked with our soldiers. And And do we need... No, everybody's got some healing things, it looks like. So I think we're good to go. Let's hop in and hope I don't blow it. Hope everybody keeps breathing by the end of this mission. Because now that I've overwritten my previous save, I'm locked in. If they die, they die.
Say, Teach, this must be the tower, don't you think? You know, even for a tower, it's pretty, you know, towering.
More like a fortress,
It's a
even.
remnant of ancient wars. Those thieves certainly found themselves a great place to nest. I hear their leader Miklon is a former noble. It makes sense that he would already know about this place.
Several hundred years ago, this was an important stronghold for diffusing invasions from the north. Back then, this tower was built for both surveillance and defense. It will be difficult to seize it.
Gilbert, isn't it? You hail from the kingdom, right? No wonder you're so knowledgeable. While we're chatting so amicably, do you mind if I ask some questions?
I don't mind. If I can answer them, I will.
Have you ever seen the Lance of Ruin?
I have, a long time ago. It was an impressive, if not eerily ominous weapon to behold. According to Margrave Gautier, Miklon has used the lance to turn the tables on his pursuers.
Is that right? Then those without a crest can use it as well. Interesting. As far as I knew, that wasn't possible. And then we have the mythical Sword of the Creator, which can't be used by anyone except Teach, crest or no crest.
So we just got some new information that some weapons, although the majority of the fancy elaborate ones require you to have some sort of crest connection to use it, some of them don't. So there's got to be some sort of trade-off. Maybe they're not as strong. Maybe there's something negative. There's got to be a
Maybe you're just
trade-off
that
to it,
special,
though.
Teach.
It only makes
or
sense.
Maybe there's something you're not telling us. Either way, I expect big things from you in this battle.
Now, Claude, you're the hero. I
Who are
am
you
just
now?
along for the ride.
Then why don't you hand over the Sword of the Creator for a bit? Then again, it would just be a heavy blade in my hands. There's no justice in this world, Teach. The rain is really coming down now. Let's finish this quickly.
There's no justice in this world. That's a statement that rings more true than it probably should in the context there. I'm still trying to wrap my head around where exactly are we in the story, because I've played through this a couple of times, but at this point, like, it's more like just arcs kind of exist in my head, and so I know things that happen eventually. That doesn't mean that they're going to be what happened this time. No, okay, this is definitely the mission I thought it was. Alright, so no matter what happens, Bailiff and Claude have to remain safe.
The enemy is close by. We're almost to the top floor.
And I'd rather not lose Gilbert if I can avoid it.
Why did we have to climb so high before a battle? At least it's better than fighting in heavy rain.
But if I'm going to lose anybody, he's the one I'm willing to call an acceptable loss. Not, you know, good things to say, but, you know.
Who, me?
Alright, so I don't think I have to worry about any ranged... I don't think I have to worry about any ranged fighters yet. I think these guys... Okay, like 2 or 3 spots in the entire path up. And a mage. Other than that,
Ready and willing.
if they want to hit me, they've got to get in my face. I actually think a few of the archers might be able to kind of lie a little bit about what is and isn't in their range, just because they have skills, and I don't know if the range accounts for when they use that skill to get an extra little blip of it there.
Let's get to it.
Leone on horseback. She's actually incredibly mobile. I want her to punch through and just disrupt some things on the other
Ready
side.
anytime.
let our ranged fighters get as close as they can without getting right up into everything.
I stand ready.
Leave it to me.
Really should have prepped for this mission by putting them more up front. Hilda, you're going to be the one to lure everybody in, but I can't let you get too much of a beating because you're going to be really useful at the back end dealing with this guy in his heavy armor. And I think there's, yeah, the main guy is also, I think, a heavy armor unit. And she's rocking a mace, so that's going to be pretty needed. Can I prep with some magic? Do I not know magic? Oh, that's right. We are the actual sword fighter class, I think. So even if we know magic, it doesn't matter. We can't use it. That said, I could choose to go to a magic-specific class. I think the monks can use either white or black magic. And as long as we're already good with a sword, it doesn't stop us from using it. Might be something to consider later on. Although if I also specialize the character, then it doesn't matter what he does, because he'll be good at what I know he's good at. That's kind of the trade-off with that whole line of thinking. Alright, we gotta keep these guys at range now, because I don't need to take any extra hits when I don't need to. And this way, if I happen to miss, it's not even an option for them to try and hit me anyways. Alright, once again, Leone, you're just gonna push right through. Non-stop. Don't stop. Never stop.
Huh? It worked out.
Alright, and our last couple of mages. I'd really like to get those archers a little bit closer. Because if nothing else, even if we have to use the skill, Ignatz does have a skill that lets him get an extra little bit of range. I really feel like I should be plenty well leveled for the first part of this mission. And it's totally just that.
Hurry up, you fools!
Enemies
Ooh,
approach from the lower
reinforcements.
floors.
Forgot about these guys.
Watch the rear flank.
I hope you can handle them for a bit, buddy. I completely forgot there's going to be some guys that pop up here, and I don't know if there's going to be more than one wave, but somewhere up here, too, there's going to be more of them. You know, this is kind of the cost of having already played the game so much, but it's so fun. Like, there is at no point when playing this game that I don't feel like it's a waste for me to sit down and play more of it, which is great. A game that you have, like, I think I have almost 90 or 100 hours into this game, and I can still sit here and just be like, hey, yeah, you know what, I can still sit here and play this game. It's good, solid fun. Alright, I think Ignatz, because these guys aren't getting any closer, which I wanted them to. I'm just going to have him swoop around and deal with this guy. I wanted the mages to be way up close, but since we have reinforcements showing up in the back, I need to leave them behind, probably roughly around the general location that Raphael's going to be at.
Not enough.
I had a plan, and then Gilbert, I immediately just went over my plan, Gilbert. You're going to come up with us, you're going to hang out with the two magic users and Raphael, but no, you just turned around like an idiot. Okay, you want to deal with them, you can. I'm going back with the prior plan of everybody push forward. Except Ignatz, he's going to stay behind and do what he needs to there. Magic is a pain, because so many of my units don't like being hit by it at all. Although that might help with the bow. She's really good with it. Can she be good enough to just drop one right now? Absolutely, I just have to not use the steel bow.
Nice.
try.
So if I use a bow that is less powerful in and of itself,
Takes care of that.
our skill level, I think it's the skill level. I might have the wrong stat. But basically, she's able to buy a second attack instead of just hitting once hard. She can hit twice softer and do a lot more damage overall. Alright, Bailiff, let's just move everybody up. At this point, being pretty about it doesn't matter. Being self-conscious about it doesn't matter. We're just smashing our way through enemies at the moment.
This is my duty.
We're not going to have to worry about anything until we at least round that second corner. Because by that point, those who are fast, as you can see here, we're already getting the effect I'm talking about. Those who are faster or are able to just push through without having to pick off stragglers, they're going to get a lot farther than those whose movement is just a lot more limited. He's definitely going to take a hit there, but I think we're pretty well equipped to deal with it. But yeah, we're already seeing the breakup of our units. And so I'll have to make a decision to either make them act as two separate units for the most part, with Leone just punching ahead way too fast, but you know, that's kind of what she's meant to do.
Both sides.
It's an ambush.
You'd have to have units on the other side to attack you from both sides. Although I underestimated just how much that was gonna hurt. I didn't even consider that they had units to hit me with that way. I thought he was just gonna swing his sword. Because yeah, that did throw me off a little bit. Ignatz took a big hit, and now I can't move him. And because he's an archer and an archer only, he can't even fight back. So, do I have any moves with the power to drop him outright? Just enough. Alright, so that worked out pretty good. Once again, Lysithea just kind of the cute, adorable, just nuke walking around the battlefield. So she's got the chest key. I'll let her go and grab that. Let's just keep people moving. Wait, why is she green? Can he heal her? Okay, I forgot that Lorenz had healing magic. Clearly, I've been out of this for a bit. Alright, we have to turn around and start dealing with the threats that way. I think these guys are already set to start charging in. So now that she's lured them in, I hope, even if she backs off and starts hitting these guys, it shouldn't matter. I hope it doesn't matter. And I don't want her to kill this guy outright, so we're going to go with the steel bow. Hit him hard, but not enough to drop him, because we're going to let other people swoop in and take the kill experience. Because it has a lot more value. Get up in there. And Claude, I want you to be the one to grab all that. Ideally, with a melee, your bow's pretty good. You still need a little work on that sword skill. I don't know what it is, but he looks good with a sword. I mean, obviously the bow is far more fitting. That's what he was like made with the intention of. But I like the look of him with a sword and shield. Alright, Hilda is not going to have a good time here. Unless we swap her weapon of choice. And I'm still a fan of her with a sword, but there's something just comical about the axe, and I can't bring myself to part with it, no matter how much my brain says, go with the sword. Because I go with the sword in everything. You know, classic Fire Emblem main character hero status. Give them a sword or give them a lance. Those are your two options, and don't break away from it ever. Unless it's Claude. Give him a bow and let him be the long distance Pokeboy.
That is that.
Alright. Raphael. I hope Bailiff can take out the mage, because otherwise he is going to be hurting here. Not good enough. Oh boy. And even the Sword of the Creator doesn't deliver enough damage. Its biggest advantage is that we can hit from a distance with it and still get a really solid melee strike. Oh boy. I'm a lot less happy about the outcome of that. Alright, Hilda, you're close enough. You can still get in there. Let's just move you, which was not my intention, but...
Sorry, did I hurt you?
If nothing else, you dropped him, so that problem's dealt with. Lorenz is not injured, so Nosferatu is kind of pointless. I think the biggest advantage of that spell is when we hit them, we get to heal a little bit. And that's the only damaging spell she has, so gotta go with it no matter what. Which is not bad. Marianne could use a bit more experience.
Is this power really mine?
I really need to get my mages up to their next class. Alright. Claude back off with the steel bow. And much like last time where you got the kill shot, we're gonna give that over to Leone. Completely forgot her name for a minute there. Don't want to use up the javelin, but the steel lance is so nice. I love the steel weapons. I mean, steel bow less so, but
I call that a win.
only because right now we're not getting double shots with it. Move her way out there again. Let's see what we got sitting in that treasure chest. I realize Lysithea is probably going to run into those guys on her way back up. I'm debating leaving Ignatz back here, just because, unfortunately, he's the only guy, you know, able to close the distance right now. I don't know, I might have a workaround. She and Ignatz are going to have to engage with them, because Gilbert's going to be too far gone. But she does have the... Does she have the range one? No. Who has the big range healing? Oh god, none of my healers have the big ranged healing either. Oh, that changes things up a bit. Alright, Lorenz, you have more HP. You have to come down here and meet them along the way. Marianne, keep going. Nobody is hurt bad enough yet to really need to deviate from the plan so far. Hilda, I've got to have you go deal with this guy. His big, heavy, bulking armor. Your mace is going to chew right through him. Alternatively, I should probably send Marianne with her as well. Just because the two of them together. Magic can completely ignore the armor, so it doesn't matter how beefy he is. Meanwhile, the mace will chew through his armor. And her and, oh boy, maybe Raphael. Maybe Raphael can go with them as well. So that they can be a wall if need be, if after all that we still don't drop the big armored guy. I really don't want him to get close and just beat on Marianne. She is not going to be able to take that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have Raphael and Hilda kind of team up here. I should be able to, you know, choke him off here, but why leave it up to chance? Oh, that's right. I'll set you back the wrong way. Heal.
Appreciate that.
And where is she? Lysithea. Come on, get back here fast. Yeah, okay, there we go. I guess that's it. That's the end of the turn. Let's see how unlikely we are to be able to get past these guys. Alright. Bailiff and Leone, both, like, deep in there. Archers are going to be a problem, though. So let's stay out of the range of the archers. Let's stay out of the range of that many enemies. God, I just don't really have an option. It's going to be 3 no matter what I do. Alright, you can stay there. Team up with the Teach. And let's see how this goes. Oh, I'm less confident about this already. Yeah, send Raphael in right after. If she has to back out, Raphael can close in, and then the mage can swoop in for a much better end shot. I think that's the best advantage I can give him. And we just make it past these guys' problem. So yeah, I think we're going to be good down here as well.
I have an idea.
Oh, not good enough. I saw them doing that, and I was worried that she wouldn't be able to back out. Much like what we did, having the mage come in and deliver the shot. With the 2 heavy characters like that, they would have to basically swap places, more or less. And if I can't move her, she's locked in combat with him. Could have been a problem, but she had no issue dealing with him.
Predictable.
Alright, I think you can kind of see the game plan here. I'm going to just continue punching through and picking these guys off as we go. I'm not sure if I'm going to have any trouble with the last room here, where the archers and the main guy are. But, you know, I think I'm going to shut my face for a while and just let the strategies go where they need to go. Alright, so that was a turn that didn't go as I intended. I figured because we were right near the edge that we'd only lure the one guy. They're all coming. They all want a piece of Leone, and she is not equipped to take that kind of a beating. So let's inch her just out of range and get a little bit of regrouping going on. By this point, we shouldn't need to hold out that long for everybody to get here, but I'm a lot more comfortable spending the 1 extra turn to engage them on my terms rather than theirs, because that's exactly what they set me up for. And I'm not going to take any part in that, especially since they aren't fully closing in either. I thought most of them could still get quite a bit closer, but no, they're holding out a little bit. Which is not what I'm used to seeing from them, you know?
No.
Alright, I don't think anybody else can move in to actually get in on the fight. But they can get quite a bit closer, and that's good enough for now, I hope. Oh, Claude, you can't finish them off. you might be actually really good getting up here with a sword, though. Because then you get the advantage of the weapon triangle. And if I'm able to trap the archer in, I don't think I'm going to be able to, but if I can, that's also really good. Alright, this is my less than ideal answer to this problem. And I hope it pays off well, because I'm already thinking it might not. Oh, I can take the archer out right now. Which is better than what I can do with this steel lance. So let's take that range shot.
I'll celebrate later.
51 damage. God, girl.
I'm impressed.
Alright. I'm gonna leave her here. Because right now the only person that I'm worried about really is this axe guy, because he can start coming around this way. And even then, I mean, he's up against a wall. I don't think they're going to want him to do that. And so I'm okay with that. I do kind of wish my mages were a bit closer, since these are all martial fighters. They'd be able to do a lot of damage right now.
Child's play.
Land the hit, Gilbert. There we go. She's weak enough that literally anybody can take the kill there. I don't know why they waste that opportunity. It's only got a... If the last one was a 25% chance to hit and this one's a 30. That's not worth the risk in my opinion. Seems like a poor choice on the part of the AI, but you know what? I'm going to take full advantage of it. Now, 43. 43 is still one I wouldn't take unless I had to. But they weren't in a position where they had to take it. They were in a position where they had no risk to not take it. So I get that one. I get why the archer would have made their shot. Alright, so who needs some experience points? A part of me really wants to give it to Raphael, but... Oh, he can get close enough. Alright. Let's have him just beat their face in. A couple of steel gauntlets.
Won that.
Picked up a vulnerary while he's at it, which is going to be useful. Because he's going to be my tanky wall coming up. And I need him to be as big and beefy as he can manage to pull off. Meanwhile, even though they're in heavy armor, I'm going to use the sword. It'll get the job done.
Did I hurt you?
The mace might have done it in one shot. And then we wouldn't take any damage. But I do also want to get the... I guess I'll take the accuracy ring off. I do want to get her abilities with the sword up a bit. Much like Claude. Ooh, hold up. So if I back off a bit more... No, whoops. Okay, so I guess I can't use it there. I was hoping that if you look at the gambit line, that I'd be able to hit all three of them if I backed up one, but then I don't get to use the gambit line at all. So that kind of sucks.
How do you like that?
Man, so many vulneries. Like, I shouldn't complain because more healing is not a bad thing, especially because I don't think I'm going to be recruiting more people. So I'm probably going to have one healer, one dedicated healer, and then just a couple of people who might have one option for healing. And that's normally not the way I'd go about this, but because I'm doing the permadeath run, I want to do a house specific. After considering trying to recruit some other students, I think that's going to be the way I want to take this run. Speaking of changes I might or might not have made or intended to make on a run, I am still on the original file. At the end of the last episode, I hinted at possibly having to change a bit on that and go over to my other file because DLC and so on. Apparently that's system specific, so the DLC should be in here, so I don't need to worry about that. And I think that was some more of the mistakes I made in trying to interpret what I understood of the DLC. Alright, we are literally just down to the big beefy end guy. So, everybody get up there, hang back a little bit, and let those who can, you know, take a little bit of the pain away, take a little bit of the pain away.
Did the trick.
I don't think we need to wait for the other mages to catch up at this point. I think it's just a matter of making sure that when I choose to charge him, everybody can do it from the safest point they're able to. Which is, everybody does nothing and Raphael charges in and punches him in the face. So I'll leave my mages back there and let them chillax a bit. I'm actually a little bit reminded of the Disgaea games. If you guys have ever played those, you know what I'm talking about. You can pick up other units and throw them, so they get a little bit more distance. I totally just wanted Raphael to pick up Gilbert and chuck him over the wall here. If you haven't played any of the Disgaea games, I'd highly recommend it. It's anime as heck, and the writing is intentionally made to be a bit more on the goofy, fun side of it. But also, like, the games are just generally good fun. They're, I think, in the spirit of them, meant to be a tactical RPG, but so much of the game's mechanics are kind of designed around you making your characters so ungodly powerful that nothing else matters for what was intended in the game design. And so you get a lot of fun with that.
So, you think you can take the lance from me, huh? I'll kill you. I'll kill every last one of you!
If the game wasn't so heavy and just the need to grind and to start back over at square one just to build yourself back up. If it wasn't so heavy in that kind of mechanic approach, I'd actually consider doing that game after this. I didn't think the arrows would be as useful as they were, but here comes Claude just taking him out. Nice. I figured because of his heavy armor that they'd just barely be able to nick him here and there. And I'd still have to go in with Bailiff, but nah, they got this. Let's let the animation play out because, God, these look gorgeous.
Not bad for your kind. A bunch of spoiled, rotten children.
What the hell?
Dad, look at that! I'm out of here! Hold on!
Oh, geez, he just crushed. For some reason, I thought he just crushed one of his own men. Which might still be coming.
No! Ah!
That man just broke those bricks with his body. Dude is super dead. Like, there's not even any playing with it. Like, oh, well, maybe he just chucked him. Who broke those bricks with his body?
That form. Oh my.
Alright, now we have to
Is this
learn
your
about
first
a
time fighting
new
such a
enemy
thing?
type.
Then listen well to what I say.
These monsters is some of the best things to fight in the game because they're so different and they kind of shake up the mechanics a bit. But if you find yourself like outclassed by a monster, there's not a lot of options because the hit and run tactic doesn't work all that well with them.
An evil power has caused them to grow quite large. Their life force is beyond a mortal like yourself.
So I'm going to go through and have this game tell us a little bit about these monsters because it is kind of a key difference between this game and a lot of the other Fire Emblems I've played.
Cannot win unless you fell them twice, or even thrice. Even if you've cornered one, you cannot let your guard down. Those things are even worse when threatened. Can you see that barrier? It is surrounded by great power. You must break through to fight that thing. A strong attack or gambit might help to break through more quickly. If you can break the barrier, that power will have nowhere else to go, and that will likely cause confusion for that thing. It cannot counter while confused, which means that is the best time to attack. If you break down all of their barriers, not only will they be confused, they will not be able to move for a short while. Without the power flowing around them, they will not be able to restore their barriers. You might even be able to get something from them. They have such might that they will not fear you alone. But a battalion could prove useful on that front. Attack them with a gambit to draw their attention and force them to target you. Be on your guard when they have realized their full power. The damage caused at times like that is not contained to just one spot. Once they have charged some power up, their barriers will be restored. You really must distract them with a gambit, or just take them down before they can attack. In any case, think carefully before you act. But you should be conquering that thing instead of talking to me. If you're out of questions, get over there and fight!
Alright, so there you go, and I threw that last one in just because I find it kind of funny.
So the hero's relics are hiding a terrible power within. I can't even tell friend from foe anymore. Now, I feel for him, but the best we can do now is finish this quickly.
Alright, so what we learned is these guys have big old shield barrier and multiple health bars. And so you can kind of abuse them a bit by tearing apart these shield barriers. But, you know, they're still just a big hulking behemoth that is quite capable of overpowering some of your characters. And we are coming in here with looks like the damage we had from the last fight. So, that's good news. Alright, I know that Lorenz can heal, and I know that I want him to keep his distance a bit. So we'll have him move forward on the first turn, because once everybody else moves, he'll have fallen behind again anyways.
Well done.
Alright, and just like that, I think all of my important health wall guys are pretty well healed up. So I want to use Gilbert as a big wall of protection as well. But that doesn't mean I want to, you know, rule out the usefulness of Raphael. Big attack, I think that's what I'll go with. He's less likely to avoid an attack that way. By a lot. I don't know. Maybe it's not worth it. Maybe we'll stick with the gauntlet. And Hilda has to come up front here. I don't think he necessarily has a damage type for the classic damage triangle to consider. So it's really just a matter of giving people what works best. So once again, for being on the defensive, the sword's going to work out best for her. But I'd actually say I disagree with that when we switch to the offensive. Alright, and I think we can see that he's still trying to target Gilbert here. Which, I guess, for the most part, is what I want him to do. Gilbert, you've got to take this one for the team. And yeah, you can see it's got a pretty good hit chance, but a lot of things were able to hit Gilbert before. What it really has as a problem is just a big, massive power swing. And so now it's also going to try to... Gilbert, you brave idiot.
I have yet to be forgiven.
Wait, are you retreating? I thought you died. I thought I had permadeath on. Is that because he was just a green unit and he's part of the story still? Oh, that's great. If he's not actually dead, that's fantastic. I mean, that seems to kind of defeat some of the purpose of what I was going for, but good news is good news. Alright, so those with Gambit options, I really should have them make use of that.
Gotcha covered.
Now's our chance.
Especially because apparently they can't swing back if we're using a Gambit. And so now I know that he is targeting this entire section here. So if Bailiff is the only one there, Bailiff is the only one getting hurt right now. In the meantime, we can still hurt this enemy quite a bit. In fact, we can even take one of its health bars down. And I almost think that was a waste because Hilda can do so much damage. She probably would have been better as an earlier offense unit. That was a mistake. Alright, it's cracked. I think... Ooh, no, you stay back there. And he's still targeting Bailiff, so that's good. I'm hoping I'll be able to break the armor further. Nice dodge. I mean, the number was in your favor, but I don't know, big bulky armor, you shouldn't be able to do that, in my opinion at least. Not that it's not beneficial to me either way. Alright, let's go with the break shot. See if that does enough to break that last armor piece. Because if we break the armor... There we go. They can't move right now. And I don't know if they get to move on their turn or not. I might be able to go for the kill here, though, which would be phenomenal. Oh, I hope I don't have to use my turn back time ability. Okay, yeah, I actually think I'm going to go with that. Go with the magic here. Do the damage. Hit them where it counts. God, if I don't drop him, I'm leaving a student open in the worst possible way. Because I think... No, he doesn't get his armor back. Okay. For some reason I thought when he got his health bar back, the armor comes back too. Which would mean next turn he'd get to do whatever the hell he wants. But right now he's still confused. And he's taking full straight damage. I think I can drop him here. He's got a lot of health and it's going to be hard. But with a few hits like that, holy cow! A few hits like that, it's not even going to be a concern. God, that could be it right there. And we are highly unlikely to even miss. Hell yeah! Good job, Lysithea! Coming in for the clutch like that. I was so paranoid about this fight, which is great because this means that I can kind of not have to worry about it as much next time, I hope.
Yet Miklon and the lance remain.
Gilbert, get up.
We defeated him, somehow. Let's grab the lance and return to the monastery.
Gilbert, you're good, right? She did good. Was that Leone? Yeah, it was. Leone did good. Oh, Gilbert, don't be gone. Just be in the medical bay or something. We got one of those.
That man, his form was changed. It was as though that lance was swallowing him whole. Upon that sight, it makes sense that your students were upset. I wonder if those relics truly hide such power. Yet even still, that power seems familiar. That form as well, as one who wields the sword of the Creator. Does that mean you possess that power too?
Let's hope
Professor,
not.
You have returned.
At least
the goddess is indeed generous.
not the
with her
transforming
divine
going out of control
protection.
part.
I have already heard Gilbert's report about what happened.
Gilbert pulled
See to
through!
it that you keep what transpired at the tower.
I mean, he'd have to. He had a report.
People would lose faith in the nobles should rumors spread of one using a relic and transforming into a monster. All regions of Fodland would fall into chaos. We must avoid that at all costs. Please ensure the students who accompanied you understand that as well. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, crystal clear, Your
His
Highness.
transformation into a black beast was nothing short of divine punishment from the goddess. Punishment for someone arrogant and foolish enough to use a hero's relic even though they were unworthy and unqualified.
So, you knew that this could happen?
Of course. That is why we rushed to recover it. Sadly, we did not arrive in time. The church will formally return the lance to House Gautier, if you would.
So, Miss Rhea, just gonna put this out there. We're not acknowledging that it's kinda shady and sketchy that these ancient holy relics, which are also weapons of war, just so happen to have the side effect of turning people into uncontrollable raging behemoths. That sounds like some religious history right there.
You have my gratitude. I can see that I was right to trust you with this. Please report back. I will tell you of your new mission for the coming moon at that time.
Nice work, Teach. It's thanks to you that we successfully completed our mission. As for Miklon, I wonder if he really believed he could wield a relic.
I mean, in a certain sense, he technically did until we nearly killed him. Just saying, Claude, could be a catalyst there. He did wield the weapon against us with a fair bit of, success.
I bet he just wanted to get his hands on it, even though he knew he couldn't use it. Though I'm sure he wasn't counting on turning into a monster like that. I wonder if that monster represents another aspect of a hero's relics. What a strange and terrifying power.
Claude, calm down there right there, okay? Hold on. That's exactly what you want to do with my sword. So, take a step back, look at it from the outside looking in, and please, no monster. We can't have that beautiful face going all beast mode on us.
Stories of misfortune have followed the hero's relics since ancient times.
Tomas, you've caught me by surprise. That's not easy to do. Though I suppose I should have expected to see our librarian in his library.
I am sorry to intrude. I simply heard you speaking of the hero's relics. I can tell you more about them if you'd like.
Could you?
The story goes
Would you?
that Nemesis was corrupted by evil because of the sword of the Creator. Other heroes also lost themselves by continuing to use the relics, transforming into black beasts with twisted souls. There used to be a great many records regarding the dark history of the relics.
Used to be.
And then let me guess, the church said we can't have that out in the public, and they burned all the evidence.
They have been destroyed across all of
Called it.
stripped from their shelves, including those that resided at this very library.
You make it sound like the church is covering up the truth. But now that you mention it, Rhea was very specific about not wanting anyone to find out what happened at Conan Tower.
A good old-fashioned book burning. Get on board or get out of the country. Ugh. Bad options right there.
Hey, Tomas, why are you telling us all of this?
It seemed like you were searching for answers about the relics. What is a librarian if not a guide in the search for knowledge? And not only have you been searching, but you have been doing so through the night. I would suggest you stop before the night's notice. And that is enough meddling for today. Please excuse me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sweep in here and acknowledge the fact that the church might have some issues with corruption and a history of covering up said corruption. You know, kind of just shaking up the very foundation of this nationwide force of power. And I'm just gonna, you know, just kind of waltz right out of the conversation now. Good job, Tomas.
So I've been found out, have I? I suppose I do spend more time at the library than most students. But I won't stop. I can't afford to. Teach. You don't really expect me to tell you something so personal just like that, do you? Though, I wouldn't mind sharing if you were to tell me some of your secrets in exchange.
I can't let this exchange pass without comment.
Edelgard,
If you're
what are you
sharing
doing here?
secrets, perhaps I can share one as well?
Are you sure you could survive that? I'd say you're the least likely to share secrets out of everyone at the Academy.
So, hold on. Okay, never mind. I was going through my head on something, and never mind. It does not check
Coming from
out.
you, I'll take that as a compliment. After all, you're easily the student with the most secrets.
I'm afraid you overestimate me. My secrets don't amount to much. But back to Teach.
Don't try to change the subject, Claude. We're talking about secrets. Yours.
I really don't know of Claude's secrets yet. I still have not played through the entirety of his storyline because I have this stream going on. And so I want to have my gears turning still and the cogs in my head still trying to mash stuff together and see what comes out. And I'm still not seeing much from Claude as a problem or you know, hidden backdoor secrets that everybody's got to worry about, other than his obsession with the sort of creators or whatever it was. The sword that the teacher wields. His obsession with that power is the only threat I have right now.
Who is your father? And why did you appear so suddenly as if from nowhere? Duke Regan's eldest son died in an accident. Having tragically lost other family members as well, he was without an heir. The Alliance would undoubtedly have been shaken if House Regan had lost its position of leadership. But then you showed up. Why did you return to House Regan? What brought you to the monastery?
I kind of want to know, but I don't want to be a jerk about it. He doesn't have to answer.
Oh boy, I'm trapped here. I have no choice but to surrender under your intimidating gazes. My dream, in truth, is a selfless dream, but I require power to make it a reality. When I learned about the power of my crest, I knew I had a chance, so I'm chasing that dream. To the bitter end, if need be.
Okay, that's kind of dark and foreboding, Claude. Please don't go there with this. Also, I understand noble ambitions, you know, the greater good, the little man. But a single source of incredible power in the hands of one individual, especially an individual with very lofty ambitions could be a problem.
I came to this monastery because I thought I might find someone useful. Someone to help me on my path. So, what do you think? If you promise to help me achieve my dream no matter what, I'll promise to tell you anything.
I have my own dream to tend to. I pray that yours does not interfere with mine.
What about you, Teach?
Yeah, you know what? Hold on. I don't like these options. It's not because it's a noble's dream. And I really don't have anything else that I want to pursue in this storyline. There should be a third option where it's just like, so far, Claude, I like where you're going. I like where your head's at. You've got noble aspirations so far. But the idea of that may be difficult. I don't know, it sounds a little too much like a hard no. And that's not what I'm going for. I guess this one kind of trails off and leaves it ambiguous, so maybe that.
I see. Well, now isn't the time to discuss this. You are still my Teach, after all.
I mean, that was the one that leaned more to the yes.
Professor,
which is kind of where I'm at.
You have done well to complete such a difficult task. You have shown exceptional skill in leading your students. I am forever grateful for the safe return of the hero's relic. Just as I expected, you have mastered the sword of the Creator. Now then, I shall tell you about your mission for the coming month.
Archbishop!
Yeah?
Seteth, what troubles you?
Kind of rushing in here, Seteth.
Flame is missing. I cannot find her anywhere.
And with good reason.
Professor, have you seen Flame recently?
We have not, but we will definitely get on that for
everywhere.
Keep an eye
Where
out.
Could she be? She may be in danger. Oh no, 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 what am I to do?
Calm yourself, Seteth. Professor, we shall continue our discussion another time.
Alright, and with the disappearance of Flame, that kind of wraps up, I think, the chapter we were on. I think this puts us at chapter 6. And so, I'm going to call the episode here, and we're going to pick up
Part 1. White Clouds. Horsebow Moon. Rumors of a Reaper.
We're going to pick up at that section that was just read to you by the sexy booming voice that is clearly not mine. We're going to pick up with that one next time. I hope you had a good time, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good one.